Hey guys, I'm Vijaya, and today in this session we are going to learn about tables and constraints. So, in SQL, a table is a database object that is used to store and organize data in a well-structured format consisting of rows and columns. The next one is about the constraint. So, in SQL, constraint defines rules for the data in a database to maintain accuracy, consistency, and integrity of data. They ensure that only valid data is stored, preventing issues like duplicate entries, missing values, or invalid relationships. And here we have created very simple table without any relationships. So here we have two tables, department tables and employees tables. So in department tables, we have two columns, DPT ID and DPT name. And here the data type of DPT ID is in data type. Here we want to store the numbers. That's why we use the in data type. And here we want to store the character. That's why we use the unverified data types. And storage byte is 50. In the same way, in the employees table, we have three columns, EMP ID, last name, and DPT ID. So here in SQL, constant defines rules for the data in a database to maintain accuracy, consistency, and integrity of data. They ensure that only valid data is stored, preventing issues like duplicate entries, missing values, or invalid relationships. So here we have six types of constraint: not null, unique, default, primary key, foreign key, and check constraint. So here is the explanation about each and every constraint. The first one is a not null. By default, a column can hold null values. That means the dot null constant enforces a column to always contain a value, which means you cannot insert or update a record without providing data for this field. That means ensuring every user has a particular element address in that column. The next one is about the unique. The unique constant ensures that all values in a column are different from one another. Unlike primary key, you can have multiple unique constants per table and they allow one null row. That means the social security number or a citizen ID. The next one is the default. The default constant provides some values for a column but no value is specified for that column. That means for insert statement, setting the status column to active automatically if nothing else is entered into the column. And here, the next one is the primary key. Primary key uniquely identifies each record in a table. It is a combination of not null and unique constant. It only contains one primary key and it allows only one per table. And it cannot contain null values. That means primary key uniquely identifies each record in a table. So in that column, we cannot contain any null values or duplicate values, and you can have only one primary key per table. And the next one is the foreign key constant. So a foreign key is used to prevent actions that would destroy links between tables. It is a field one in a one table that refers to the primary key in another table, ensuring referential integrity constant. So here, primary key and foreign key constant is basically used to join two tables or more than two tables to get data of that tables. And the last one is the check constant. The check constant ensures that all values in a column satisfy specified conditions or expression. If a row inserted that collides this logic, the database will reject that data. So here in this script, we are going to see all the six types of constants which we have seen in the slide in details. So basically what we have done here, we have created the library database, and in the library database, we have the two tables, books tables and rental tables. So this SQL script builds a basic library database with two connected tables for inventory book tables and for checkout loss rentals tables. So it applies six strict rules known as constraint to guarantee that all entered data remains accurate, complete, and logical. These constraints automatically prevent missing information, block duplicate book barcodes, and stop user from renting books that the user doesn't own. So finally, the script proves these security measures work by successfully blocking intentional attempts to enter invalid data like renting a book for negative days. So let's first create this database. So create database and the database name is library. So let's execute it. So here our commands completed successfully. So there are two ways to select the database name in the context menu. The one is that you go here in the context menu and in the drop down list, you can select here the database name, okay, library. And the second way is by using this code. So let's first go to some another database. Okay. Now we can use this code, use library and go. Now here you can see that the library database is selected in the context menu. So in this way, you can select the database name either by going to the drop-down list in the context menu or by using this code. So here we have created the books table, that is parent table. So in the book tables, we have almost 4 columns: book ID, and its data type is int. This is constant. Now how to write the constant? So write constant, constant name, constant type. So here, this is the constant and this is the constant name PK books. And this is the constant type, that is primary key. And this is the identity column. That means it automatically insert the value for book ID column. That means the identity column takes two parameters. The first one is the seed and the second one is the increment value. Seed means the starting numeric value for the very first row and the default value is 1. An increment value is step-by-step value added to the previous row value and its default value is also 1. That means the starting number is 1 and it increment by 1. And the second column is the title. Its data type is varchar. Storage byte is 150 and it contains not null data. Third one is the ISBN number. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number and its data type is varchar 20. Constant. Here we have created the unique constant, constant name and constant type. At the last column is the status and its data type is varchar 20 and its default value is available. That means if none of the values is provided to the status column, then by default available is selected in this column. Now the second table is rental tables. So here in the rental tables we have rental ID column, int constant, constant name, and it is primary key constant. And here we also use identity column value. Second one is the book ID, int data type constant, constant name. Here we have created the foreign key constant, foreign key rental books. Foreign key constant references to books table, that is parent table. And the column name is book ID. That means this book ID is connected to the books table. And the next column is the member name. Data type is varchar 100 and it contains not null data. And the last one is the rental days. So here data type is int, constant, constant name. And here we have applied the check constraint. So here the condition is that rental days is greater than 0. That means check constraint prevents checking out a book for 0 and negative days. That means you cannot allow here to give negative values for rental days. Now here we have test the data. So let's first create this table. Okay. So here first create this books table. So just select it and run it, execute it. So this table is created. Now select another one. Study. Why it's not selecting? Selected. and execute it. So here our commands completed successfully, that we have successfully created this table. Now let's see that our data table is created or not. So first we will select the data, right? Select star from books table and select star from rental table. So this is a select query to select the table. So let's select both the table and execute it. So here you can see that this is the structure of the book table and this is the structure of the rental tables. So now we didn't create and we didn't insert any data in this tables. So here it can show that our table is created successfully. Now let's test the data. Now testing with good data and it always succeed. That means here we didn't get any error because we are going to insert a valid data. So here we are going to insert a valid book in the book ID column and it will automatically become 1 and the status will default value to available. So here we are going to insert data in the books table. The value is the grade gets by. This is the title like this. This is the ISBN number, 17-digit number. So let's insert this data. So just select the query and execute it. So one row is affected. That means our data is inserted in this books table. Now let's select this query again. Now here you can see that our data is successfully inserted in this books table. Here we didn't insert value for the book ID because it is the primary key, and here we have created the identity column. And here we didn't supply any value because this is the default constant. That means if you didn't give any value, then the default value will be supplied to this column. Because here we have applied the default constant. That's why we didn't insert any value for both these columns. Okay. So here you can see that our data is successfully inserted because we have inserted a valid value in the books table. Now let's insert data in rental table. So here we are going to insert data in rental tables, the books ID, member name, and the rental days. Here we are going to insert this book, the grade gets by for 7 days. That means we want to give this book for 7 days to this member. So let's insert this data and execute it. So one row is affected. That means I successfully inserted the data in the rental tables. So now let's select both this table and run it. So here you can see that our data is successfully inserted in this both tables, in the books table and the rental table, because we have applied the valid values in this both table. Now here we will see that both rows have successfully inserted because they follow all the rules of the constraint. Now intentionally we are going to insert bad data. Here the constraint will become in action. So now test the data. Here we are testing for UNIQUE Constraint. So here we are going to insert a completely different book but using the exact same ISBN number. That means we are going to insert a different book. That means a mock-bing per tail but with the same ISBN number. Here we are going to error of UNIQUE Constraint. So let's see it. So select this data and execute it. Here you can see that violation of UNIQUE Constraint UK ISBN. This is a constraint name because it cannot insert duplicate key in object debuted of books in the books table. The duplicate key value is this 13-digit of ISBN number because this is the duplicate value. So that's why the UNIQUE Constraint became in action. So the statement has been terminated. In this way, the unique constraint forcefully didn't allow any duplicate values in this column. Now, let's see for check constraint. So here we are trying to rent a book for negative days. So here we will got the check constraint errors because the condition is that the rental days should be greater than 0 and no negative values will be applied to this column. So here we will get the check constraint error. So let's insert it and execute it. Now here you can see that the statement, insert statement conflicted with the check constraint. Check rental days. The conflict occur in the database library table of reviewed rentals column rental days. The statement has been terminated. Here we got the error of check constraint. So in this way, the check constraint follows the rules that no negative values will be applied to this rental days column. Now, here we are going to test the primary key and foreign key constraint. So here, trying to rent book ID 999 which does not exist in our library inventory. That means it book table because this ID 999 doesn't exist in the book table. So let's see the data first, what we have in this tables. So here you can see we are going to select this data once again. So here you can see that we didn't have 999 ID in the book ID of books table. So here we will definitely get the error of primary key and foreign key because primary key and foreign key constraint is used to merge the data between two tables, and if you didn't have any values that is inserted in the parent table, then you will get the error of primary key and foreign key collection error. Okay, so let's insert this data and execute it. So here the insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint, foreign key rental books. The conflict occurred in the database library table t2.books column book ID, and the statement has been terminated. And it shows that you cannot add or update a child row a foreign key constraint field because you cannot rent out a book that the library doesn't actually own. You cannot insert that values which doesn't have in the books table in the primary key table. Okay. So I hope that you can understand this session. If you have any query related to this session, then you can comment me or mail me to this mail ID. I will definitely give reply. Till then, stay safe and take care. And let's see you in the next session.